Success often resides in the places others fear to explore. This is not a matter of sheer luck or talent. It is a consequence of intentional divergence, a conscious decision to veer away from the well-trodden path and venture into uncharted territory. The 99% follow patterns that feel safe and familiar, drawn by the comfort of validation and the security of the predictable. They do what has been done before, not because it is best, but because it is easiest. And in doing so, they confine themselves to mediocrity, inadvertently surrendering the opportunity to achieve greatness. To stand apart, you must dare to see the world differently. It begins with the audacity to question, why do people think, act, or believe this way? Is there another approach? This questioning is uncomfortable. It can isolate you, and it may even make you the subject of criticism or doubt. But history proves that those who truly excel are the ones who reject the herd mentality and choose to think for themselves. The most revolutionary ideas, the most groundbreaking inventions, and the most profound advancements all stem from individuals who refuse to conform. They dared to explore ideas others dismissed as impractical, unachievable, or even foolish. But Sarah Messi al-Hazim revealed to him the truth, the absolute simplicity of the whole. Doing what the majority are not doing requires more than just a willingness to be different. It demands discipline, courage, and the resolve to persist when the outcome is uncertain. It means taking risks that might not pay off immediately, stepping into a space where failure is not just possible, but likely. However, those who embrace this path understand the critical truth. Even failure teaches lessons that cannot be learned from staying safe. These lessons become the foundation of success. Think about it. What are the most valuable opportunities in life? They are not the ones sitting in plain sight, easily accessible to anyone. They are the ones hidden behind challenges, requiring effort, creativity, and determination to uncover. If you do what everyone else is doing, you will inevitably get what everyone else gets. The extraordinary lies just beyond the reach of the ordinary. And the way to access it is through divergence. It is a deliberate choice to seek excellence instead of settling for adequacy. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It demands resilience in the face of doubt, persistence in the face of obstacles, and clarity of vision when the path ahead is unclear. But it is also a journey of profound reward. When you choose to diverge from the norm, you position yourself to discover potential you didn't know existed. You become a pioneer in your own life, forging a path that is uniquely yours. And in doing so, you achieve not just success, but the kind of fulfillment that comes only from daring to be different. Independent thinking is an act of courage, a deliberate decision to detach from the comfort of conformity and venture into the often isolating realm of personal truth. It requires more than intelligence or knowledge. It demands the willingness to confront the possibility that you might be wrong, to challenge assumptions that others accept without question, and to bear the weight of responsibility for your own beliefs and actions. This is not a path for those seeking approval, because thinking independently frequently places you at odds with the prevailing opinions of your peers, your community, or even society as a whole. And most people avoid this challenge because it is far easier to adopt the views of the majority. When you align with a group, you are shielded from criticism, embraced by familiarity, and relieved of the burden of justification. However, in surrendering your autonomy, you also surrender your potential. Growth. Independent thinking is not about rejecting everything mainstream or embracing contrarian views for the sake of being different. It is about engaging in the rigorous, often uncomfortable process of critically evaluating ideas, whether they align with popular opinion or not. It requires you to ask questions that others avoid. Is this true? Why do I believe this? What evidence supports it? And what challenges it? These questions push you to develop a deeper understanding of the world and, more importantly, yourself. This courage does not come without a cost. Thinking independently may isolate you at times. It may force you to defend your views in the face of opposition or even ridicule. It may mean enduring periods of doubt, where the allure of falling back into conformity feels almost irresistible. But it is in these moments of struggle that the value of independent thought becomes clear. When you refuse to let fear dictate your choices, when you hold fast to your principles despite external pressure, you cultivate a strength that no one can take from you. The rewards of independent thinking are profound. It gives you the ability to navigate life with clarity and purpose, unshaken by the whims of trends or the influence of others. It empowers you to recognize opportunities that others overlook, to solve problems in ways no one else has considered, and to live in alignment with your true values rather than the expectations of others. Independent thinking is the cornerstone of integrity and authenticity. It allows you to contribute something unique to the world rather than merely echoing what has already been said and done. The courage to think independently is not just a gift you give yourself, it is the gift you give to those around you. When you dare to speak your truth and act on your convictions, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect, challenging others to rise above complacency and engage with life more fully. By embracing the responsibility and freedom of independent thought, you become not just a thinker, but a leader, a catalyst for change in a world that desperately needs it. Sacrifice is not merely an option on the road to success, it is a necessity. Every great achievement, every significant step forward is built on the foundation of what was willingly given up in its pursuit. This truth is uncomfortable for many because sacrifice requires relinquishing what is easy, familiar, or immediately gratifying. It demands that you trade the comfort of today for the promise of something better tomorrow. A trade that often feels uncertain and fraught with difficulty. Yet, it is precisely this act of letting go that opens the door to growth and transformation. Sacrifice is a choice, but it is also an inevitability. The question is not whether you will sacrifice, but what you will sacrifice. Will you give up your time, your energy, your fleeting pleasures to build something meaningful? Or will you forego your dreams and ambitions to cling to comfort and routine? The latter may seem easier in the moment, but it comes at a far greater cost. A life without sacrifice is a life without progress, without the satisfaction of overcoming challenges and achieving something extraordinary. To truly understand the necessity of sacrifice, you must recognize that every worthwhile goal demands a price. Excellence in any domain, whether in your career, relationships, or personal growth, requires focus, effort, and the willingness to endure hardship. The 99% avoid sacrifice because it feels like loss. But the 1% understand that sacrifice is not a loss. It is an investment. When you let go of what is holding you back, you create space for something far greater to take its place. This principle applies universally. Think of the artist who spends countless hours perfecting their craft, sacrificing leisure and sleep to create something meaningful. Or the entrepreneur who risks financial security and faces uncertainty to bring their vision to life. These individuals understand that what they give up is not gone. It is transformed into something of far greater value. Sacrifice is the currency of success, and those unwilling to pay it will never see its rewards. Sacrifice also builds character, teaches discipline, resilience, and the ability to delay gratification, qualities that are essential for navigating life's challenges. When you willingly sacrifice, you are training yourself to prioritize long-term gains over short-term comforts. You develop the strength to persevere in the face of adversity, to stay the course, even when progress is slow or setbacks arise. In this way, sacrifice is not just about achieving a goal. It is about becoming the kind of person who can achieve that goal. Sacrifice is not about deprivation for its own sake. It is about alignment, ensuring that your actions and choices are in harmony with your highest aspirations. This requires clarity of purpose and the ability to discern what is truly important. When you know what you want, sacrifice becomes easier because you understand its purpose. You're no longer giving something up arbitrarily. You're letting go of what no longer serves you to make room for what does. The necessity of sacrifice is a call to courage. It is an invitation to step out of the shallow waters of ease and into the deep currents of purpose and ambition. It asks you to trust that what you are building is worth the effort, worth the discomfort, worth the temporary losses. And when you embrace this truth, you unlock a level of potential that few ever reach. Sacrifice is not the end of something. It is the beginning of everything that truly matters. Sacrifice is the cornerstone of every meaningful achievement. It is not simply an unfortunate byproduct of success. It is an essential ingredient woven into the very fabric of progress. Without sacrifice, there can be no growth, no breakthroughs, no transformation. It is the price of admission for a life that reaches beyond mediocrity into realms of excellence and fulfillment. Yet sacrifice is often misunderstood because it involves giving something up. And human nature resists loss. But what many fail to see is that sacrifice is not about losing, it is about choosing. It is about trading something lesser for something greater, something immediate for something enduring. To sacrifice is to understand priorities. It means being willing to relinquish the things that are easy and comfortable in the short term for the sake of goals that are profound and lasting. Sacrifice requires you to ask hard questions of yourself. What do I want most? What am I willing to let go of to achieve it? These questions are uncomfortable because they force you to confront the reality that not everything can be yours at once. Time, energy, and resources are finite. To direct them toward what truly matters, you must make deliberate and sometimes painful decisions about what does not. There's probably no place in any of our lives where we can be outside of ourselves without being distracted by means and means. The necessity of sacrifice reveals itself in every significant endeavor. Think of the athlete who wakes up before dawn every day to train while others sleep, pushing their body to its limits in pursuit of mastery. Consider the scientist who spends years experimenting, failing, and refining their work, sacrificing leisure and certainty for the hope of discovery. Or the parent who sacrifices personal ambitions to ensure their child has a better life. These sacrifices are not losses, they are investments. They reflect a willingness to endure discomfort and delay gratification for the sake of something greater. This is sacrifice also builds resilience. It strengthens your ability to endure hardship and remain steadfast in the face of challenges. Every act of sacrifice requires you to confront resistance, whether it is the pull of distractions, the sting of criticism, or the fear of failure. Overcoming these forces builds character. It teaches discipline, perseverance, and a deep understanding of what truly matters. These qualities are not only essential for achieving your goals, but for living a life of meaning and purpose. A person who has never sacrificed anything has never tested their limits, never truly committed to something larger than themselves. Sacrifice is not about deprivation for its own sake. It is not about martyrdom or unnecessary suffering. True sacrifice is purposeful. It is guided by a vision of what you are striving to achieve and a clear sense of what must be given up to reach it. This clarity makes sacrifice not only necessary, but empowering. It shifts your perspective from seeing what you are losing to understanding what you are gaining. To understanding what you are gaining. When you align your actions with your deepest values, sacrifice ceases to feel like a burden and becomes an expression of your commitment to your own potential. The necessity of sacrifice also teaches an important truth. You cannot have it all, but you can have what matters most. This truth is difficult to accept in a world that promises instant gratification and limitless choice. But the reality is that pursuing everything at once leads to spreading yourself thin and achieving little. Sacrifice teaches focus. It forces you to decide what is most important and to direct your energy toward that. In doing so, it gives you the power to create something extraordinary rather than settling for something average. Sacrifice is not just about achieving external success. It is about internal transformation. It changes who you are. By demanding that you rise above complacency, resist distractions, and stay committed to your path. It shapes you into a person capable of not only reaching your goals, but appreciating them when you do. The willingness to sacrifice is a declaration of belief in yourself and your vision, a statement that you are willing to endure temporary discomfort for the sake of lasting fulfillment. Long-term vision is the compass that guides you through the complexities of life, ensuring that your actions today align with the future you seek to create. It is the ability to look beyond immediate circumstances and fleeting desires, to focus on goals that require time, patience, and sustained effort. In a world increasingly driven by instant gratification, the importance of long-term vision cannot be overstated. It is what separates those who merely react to the present from those who shape the future. At its core, long-term vision is about clarity and purpose. It requires you to define what truly matters to you, to imagine the kind of life you want to lead, and to set a course that moves you steadily in that direction. This is not an easy task. It demands introspection and the courage to prioritize what is meaningful over what is convenient. It requires you to resist distractions, to avoid being swayed by temporary rewards, and to stay committed to your larger goals. Even when progress seems slow or uncertain. The power of long-term vision lies in its ability to provide direction and focus. Without it, life becomes a series of aimless decisions, driven by short-term impulses rather than deliberate intent. Consider a person who spends recklessly chasing momentary pleasures versus someone who invests consistently with the future in mind. The former may invest consistently with the future in mind. The former may enjoy brief periods of satisfaction, but they often find themselves unprepared for life's challenges. The latter sacrifices immediate gratification, but gains stability, freedom, and the ability to achieve goals that would otherwise remain out of reach. Long-term vision also fosters resilience. It enables you to endure setbacks and challenges because you understand that they are temporary. When your eyes are fixed on a distant horizon, the difficulties of the present lose their power to derail you. They become part of the journey, lessons to be learned, and obstacles to be overcome. This perspective allows you to maintain hope and motivation, even in the face of adversity. It reminds you that the effort you put in today, no matter how small, is a step towards something greater. One of the greatest barriers to cultivating long-term vision is the lure of instant gratification. The human brain is wired to seek immediate rewards, to prioritize what feels good now over what will benefit us later. This is why so many people find themselves stuck in cycles of procrastination, poor habits, and unfulfilled potential. Long-term vision requires you to break free from this instinct, to develop the discipline to delay gratification in service of your greater goals. It means choosing the harder path now so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor later. Another challenge of long-term vision is the uncertainty of the future. It is tempting to focus only on what is immediately visible and tangible because the future feels abstract and unpredictable. But this uncertainty is precisely why long-term vision is so crucial. It gives you a sense of control and purpose in a world that often feels chaotic. It allows you to make decisions based on principles and priorities rather than reacting to circumstances. Even if the exact outcomes remain uncertain, having a vision provides a framework for navigating life with confidence and intention. Long-term vision is not just about personal achievement. It is about creating a legacy. It is about contributing to something larger than yourself, something that will endure long after you are gone. Whether this means building a business, raising a family, creating art, or advancing a cause, long-term vision enables you to think beyond your immediate needs and desires. It reminds you that your actions today have a ripple effect, shaping not only your own future, but the lives of those around you. Long-term vision is an act of faith, not blind faith, but faith in your ability to create a better future through consistent effort and intentional choices. It is a commitment to your potential, a declaration that you are willing to work for something that matters. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to stay the course, even when the rewards are not immediate. But the rewards of long-term vision are profound. It gives you a sense of purpose, a direction to follow, and the satisfaction of knowing that your life is moving towards something meaningful. It is the key to living not just reactively, but purposefully, with a deep understanding of where you are going and why it matters. Ownership and responsibility are the twin pillars of a meaningful and empowered life. They are the commitments we make to ourselves to take charge of our actions, decisions, and their consequences, rather than attributing them to external forces. Many people avoid responsibility because it feels burdensome, but in reality, it is the path to freedom. When you take full ownership of your life, you reclaim your power. Power to shape your circumstances, overcome challenges, and move closer to your goals. Responsibility is not a weight to be carried. It is the foundation of your agency and autonomy. At its heart, ownership begins with the recognition that you are the author of your own story. While external events can influence your life, they do not define it. What truly matters is how you respond to those events, how you interpret them, and how you use them to fuel your growth. This requires honesty, a willingness to look at your life without excuses or blame, to acknowledge the role your choices have played in shaping your current reality. It's easy to point fingers at circumstances, other people, or bad luck, but doing so only relinquishes your control. When you accept responsibility, you take back that control. You acknowledge that while you may not always be at fault, you are always accountable for how you move forward. Taking ownership also means understanding the impact of your actions on others. Responsibility is not limited to personal gain. It extends to how you contribute to the world around you. This is especially important in relationships, workplaces, and communities. When you take responsibility, you show others that you are dependable, trustworthy, and willing to hold yourself to a higher standard. It builds respect and strengthens connections because people recognize that you are someone who will not shy away from challenges or difficult truths. Bala. Ownership is not just about taking credit for your successes. It's equally about owning your mistakes. This can be one of the hardest parts of responsibility because admitting fault makes you vulnerable. But it is also one of the most liberating. When you own your mistakes, you free yourself from the fear of being exposed or judged. You demonstrate humility and integrity, qualities that not only help you grow, but also inspire trust in others. Mistakes are inevitable, but their consequences can be minimized and their lessons amplified when you take responsibility for them and commit to doing better. Responsibility also fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are unavoidable. Those who avoid responsibility often feel helpless in the face of adversity because they have not developed the mindset to navigate it. In contrast, individuals who take ownership view challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. They don't waste time dwelling on what went wrong or who is to blame. Instead, they focus on what they can do to change the situation or adapt to it. This proactive approach not only helps them overcome obstacles, but also builds confidence in their ability to handle future difficulties. Ownership and responsibility are not one-time decisions, they are ongoing commitments. They require daily practice, as every choice you make either strengthens or weakens your sense of responsibility. This practice is not always easy. It demands discipline, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself. It means being honest about your limitations while striving to improve them. It means recognizing that no one else is responsible for your happiness, success, or fulfillment. You are. This doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. Seeking help, advice, or support is also a form of responsibility. It shows that you are committed to finding the best path forward, even if it requires leaning on others. The rewards of ownership and responsibility are profound. When you take charge of your life, you gain a sense of control and confidence that no external force can shake. You become the kind of person who others look to for guidance, not because you have all the answers, but because you embody accountability and strength. More importantly, you gain the satisfaction of knowing that your life is a reflection of your choices and efforts, not the whims of fate or the actions of others. You become an active participant in your own story rather than a passive observer. Ownership and responsibility are acts of self-respectivity. They are declarations that your life is worth investing in, that your actions matter, and that you have the power to create change. They are commitments to live intentionally, to face challenges with courage, and to pursue goals with determination. When you embrace responsibility, you don't just change your circumstances, you change yourself. You become a person capable of not only achieving success, but also handling it with grace, humility, and purpose. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the key to unlocking the potential within you and creating a life of meaning and fulfillment. In the end, ownership and responsibility are not just principles to live by, they are the essence of what it means to truly live. They are the tools through which we craft our identities, shape our futures, and influence the world around us. To take responsibility is to embrace your power, to step into the role of creator rather than bystander, and to declare that your life is yours to direct. Let this be your guiding truth. No matter where you stand today, no matter what challenges you face or mistakes you've made, you hold the pen to your own story. Take it firmly in hand. Write a narrative of courage, resilience, and purpose. Own your choices. Own your struggles. And most importantly, own your capacity to rise above them. Responsibility is not a burden. It is your greatest privilege. Seize it with both hands and move forward boldly, knowing that the life you desire is not given, it is built, one responsible choice at a time. The power to change, to grow, to achieve lies within you. Step up and claim it.